All right, so the ISM Non-Manufacturing Index declined actually to 61.7 for the month of August, which was above the consensus expectation of 61.6. Ultimately, it's really important with and this is a survey data point, so it's not hard data, it's soft data. But beyond that, it's really important to understand that reading above 50 is a positive growth-oriented reading. So even though we saw a slight decline, we're still looking at a position where non-manufacturing managers are anticipating growth. So that's good. Ultimately, business activity index fell to 60.1 from 67. That's a big drop, but may very well prove to be temporary. New orders index declined as well to 63.2. The suppliers delivery index fell to 69.6 from 72. That's actually a positive. And ultimately, the employment index ticked down to 53.7 from 53.8. Prices paid index fell from 75 to 82, or from 82.3 to 75.4. So in general, the again non-manufacturing sector is managers in that sector are expecting growth. Some difficulties with deliveries, labor shortages. We all know that. It's not surprising to anyone to hear that. And so this is again more of the status quo, in my opinion, as we dig into the data. Hey everybody, so we got Q2 GDP, real GDP, was revised up at a 6.6 annual rate. The previous estimate was 6.5%, so upward revision there. We just beat the consensus at 6.7%. GDP. Nominal GDP growth, which is real GDP plus inflation, was revised up to a 13.2% annualized rate, up from a previous estimate of 13. So obviously we've got some strong demand there. Demand doesn't seem to be waning at all. Inflation also doesn't seem to be waning at all. And as we move forward, we'll continue to monitor this. The circumstances here, but that's why the portfolios, the way that we've designed them, are built around this. So our general consensus is that we do expect that that inflation will continue to rise, which is going to push the Fed to raise rates and to begin tapering. We do anticipate as that begins, and we don't obviously know when that will begin, but as that begins, we're going to see additional volatility in the market, just like we saw back a few years ago with the taper tantrum of 2013. And so, when we put it all together, we've decreased the amount of volatility in the portfolio to be in a position to take advantage of that and to have a degree of insulation from that additional volatility, while still maintaining the trajectory of growth as the economy continues to move forward. So again, we're going to continue to monitor things, and we'll keep you posted as things progress. Talk soon. All right, so we've got non-farm payrolls for the month of August came in at 235,000, which is pretty rough compared to the expected number of 733,000. It's obviously a big difference. Now, there's no lack in job openings, so the labor market is actually really, really strong, and that goes kind of across the board when it comes to the labor market. So it's not just restaurants and bars, which saw actually a decline in payrolls, but ultimately even engineering firms, etc., and even people that I know that are in that field are having a difficult time finding qualified applicants that can fill those jobs. So it seems like the labor challenge is really on the not on the employer side, but it's on the participant side. Which is a difficult thing to overcome. And right now, we saw a decline in the month of August with restaurant and bar payrolls, because this is a payrolls number, not an unemployment number, okay? What we saw there was, you've got, I'm sure there's some degree of impact that the Delta variant and some states have applied some restrictions on activity, but then we're also, you've got college students going back to school in a lot of states, if not all of them. There's a lot going on in that sector of the economy, but in general, labor market's good. It's a matter of finding qualified people that can and will work. We'll just we'll have to see how this continues to play out, but ultimately, I see this as an ongoing issue that leads us to higher inflation and kind of supports our concern of why inflation is such a big concern for us, is because ultimately increased labor costs, which, if you want to incentivize somebody to come and work for you, you oftentimes end up paying them more than what you would have paid previously. And that's a dynamic that we're looking at in the economy right now, as people are having to pay more to get people to show up and work, even paying them to show up for job interviews. So those are definitely inflationary considerations. We'll see how long it lasts and how this this reality takes shape as we move forward, but definitely not the best numbers that we've seen. The unemployment rate did tick down, though, from 5.4 to 5.2 for the month of August. And a big part of that is because when you look at civilian unemployment, that actually jumped up to, we saw a number at 509,000. Yeah, 509,000 jobs added when you factor in small business creation. Which is what civilian unemployment or civilian employment factors in. So some good news there, good information. We're seeing entrepreneurs take hold, and hopefully things continue to keep moving forward. Talk to you soon.